Yo, YouTube, welcome back. Another episode. We're creeping in slowly on the end of the year. We got a double title fight card. Well, I say double, like two cards. Main event title fight on this episode, and then we got one more episode after. Hopefully we hit 8 million. It's honestly actually not looking likely, especially with the taxes. We're getting taxed like 300-400k at the end of every month, and I believe we only have 3 shows in December. One of them to end is a title fight, and then I never book shows in January, so my guys can recuperate, so I can start booking for the start of the year with most of my guys to choose from. Especially if we hit low level national, I'll be taking the booking much more serious. I won't be booking guys who are ranked like in the top 10 against guys who are debuting, like I have been, to try and boost people up. It'll definitely be a lot more structure to it, and a lot more of the challenges will be getting done and stuff. But probably the most deserved challenger for a title fight so far in our save, Mac Fuller, who's 8-0. It's his first title fight. But he's beaten the likes of Terence Bushman, one of the highest name valued guys in America. He beat the highest name valued guy in the UK. He's beaten Jericho. He deserves it. He does. There's no question. But he's against arguably the best fighter in the whole world, Matthew Dean, the pound for pound number 1, 9-0. And not only is he 9-0, I believe he's had the most fights in GFC, or he might be drawn for that record now. But this will be his 10th fight in our promotion, and he has the chance to go 10-0. I believe, though, in terms of unbeaten runs, Mac Fuller's the second highest ever in terms of guys who don't have the belt. Because I know Fezzik's 8-0 right now, and I know Yamad is 7-0. They're like it's like the 3 horsemen, those guys. But current rookie fighter of the year, he's on favour to be fighter of the year for this year. It'll be his 4th fight and his 3rd title defence. Or in terms, if you want to use it, his 4th fight and his 4th title fight that he's in. So we'll see how it goes. It's more a case of how Matthew's going to win, instead of if he loses. Let's put it that way. But then we got 2 guys who lost to Matthew Dean. Mario De Souza lost to him in his last fight. So he'll be hoping to bounce straight back. And then Malfi Robbie beats Sakazawa in his last fight after losing to Matthew Dean. So that'll be a very good fight, a very good battle of the middleweights. But whoever wins this won't fight for the belt straight away, because they've only just lost to Matthew Dean, I believe, both this year. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to have them 2 fight. Then we got Bill Cumming up against Bryson Evans. We're hoping that Bryson wins, to be honest, because I'd rather keep him over Bill Cumming, who's older, but whoever loses this is getting cut. Then we got Gary the Hotshot, who's been surprising pretty much everybody, to be honest. He beat Kenji, he's beat Robin, he's beat Thierry, who's caused a lot of upsets. He beat Mark Cohen, unbeaten. He's on it's not even like we've booked him smart. We haven't at all, and he's just overcome all the odds. And now he's up against Trevor Murray, who lost his last fight, which was the first of his career, to Popik. Then we got Jack Humphreys, who's 1 fight away. If he wins this fight, he'll fight Jim Carpenter early next year for the welterweight belt. But he needs to come through a pretty easy opponent, to be honest. He's fought harder guys, for sure. He beat Anacina. He's beaten Ricardo, who, of course, was fighting for the belt. He's beat Dan Halverson. So he's in prime position. And speaking of people he's beaten, Anacina, who I believe his last fight was a loss to Jack. He's looking to bounce straight back with a pretty easy opponent. Then we got Doug Hansen, a fellow Scotsman in lightweight. He's actually pretty good, and he can turn out really good too. And he's a trash talker. We love the trash talkers. And a guillotine master. He's a very good addition. Maybe not so much to lightweight, but a good addition to the promotion for sure. Hopefully he wins, and then hopefully Brandon Sugar picks up a win. And the reason we only have 8 fights instead of 10 is because 2 of my fights at the last moment, literally like a day before, in the exact same day, they pulled out with injuries. So a bit lucky that we still don't get penalties. We still have 8. But let's go to the Matthew Dean show and see how he's going to beat Mac Fuller. Okay, here we go. Part of me always wants to think, what if, when people like Yamada and Fezzik and Matthew Dean come on to defend their belts. So always a little part of me that thinks, what if this is the day they lose? Even though they're not even in their primes yet, what if the 22-year-old, which is crazy. I think Fezzik's only 25 or 26, and Yamada's only like 23, so the 3 horsemen could really like reign supreme on their divisions for so long. But 8-0 Mac Fuller against 9-0 Matthew Dean, the huge favourite Dean. I mean, when you look at Mac's sort of record, he's more known for having very good punching power. And his takedown defence is okay, but people like Matthew Dean are just so content on sticking to the game plan. They just go straight in, straight in, straight in. There's no messing around. It's also crazy to think that Matthew's only a high level regional, and he's had 8 wins in a row. But we move. This should probably put him into national if he wins. If he wins. Wow, wow. I can't I can't believe what's happened. I I have my audio muted during these fights, but I think I woke up my whole house. I was screaming so much at the first round when Mac Fuller rocked Dean. and he even started laying punches into him. Like, usually when you see that dialogue pop up, the next piece of dialogue is basically the ref stepping in, and I was expecting it so much. Like, I've seen it happen so many times. I was like, this fight's over. He's done. Dean is out. He's out. And I don't know what happened, but he's somehow recovered. And it took him. He even wasn't really fully recovered the next round because he arguably lost that too. He was winning this round though, especially with those takedowns. But oh my god, they're the three horsemen. Fezzik, Yamada, and Dean are known notoriously for never having even lost a round, never mind a fight. But we can definitely not say that. Even though we won't find out for sure, we cannot say that for Dean anymore. Mac brought the heat. He really brought it to Dean. The first guy to really not even just push him, but he almost beat him, like really close. That is, I can't believe it. I would not have expected it from Mac Fuller of all people. But Dean's just so good all around the board. It doesn't matter if he's fighting you standing up on the ground. He's just too good. There's too much to defend when it comes against Dean, but we get a fantastic start to the episode and fantastic title fight. This is probably going to be main event of the year. I don't think we've had anything better, honestly. But he's still the champ. He's 10-0, and he gives Mac Fuller the first loss of his career. We take an 82 in commercial, mid-level international, which is really good. 200k at the gate. Malfi Robbie also beat Mario, which was a surprise because he was the huge underdog. So that's a huge win for him. I'm sure that's his 8th win. Yep, 8th win of his career too. Bryson Evans saves his job and kicks out Bill Cumming. Trevor Murray loses again. Gary McSwiggan. I really love these like underdog stories where guys like Gary have really huge records and like go on huge momentum sprees and you're just not expecting it at all. So he's almost in the top 5 in the light heavyweight class, 5-0. Jack Humphreys secures his title shot against Jim Carpenter, which will be early next year with his win. Doug Hansen wins his debut, Brandon Sugar stays unbeaten, and Anna Cena's back on winning ways. So it all pretty much went to plan with the fighters we actually wanted to win. We take a lot of pop, even though it was on Eurosports cable, because of the reach on commercial. Matthew Dean is definitely taking fight of the night. You know what? We're giving him submission too. And KO can go to Bryson since he saved his job. So we take 690k, which is huge because we only have about 5 shows left till the end of the year. So this is huge. I'm really hoping the next title fight, which I believe is Fezzik against Akihida on this card. I'm really hoping we take a lot of money too, over 500k on that show. But wow, what a card, what a card. Okay, here we go. Second title fight and last fight of the episode. We're hoping to take around about the same amount of money as we did on the last show, but we probably won't. The name value on this one's not as high, but we should take a nice profit. Hopefully about 400k as Akihida challenges Fezzik for his title. On paper, this is a very boring fight because Fezzik's a very much, we've seen him from his last few fights. He likes to throw guys around, suplex them, smother them on the ground. Oh my gosh, I can't speak English. And Akihida's pretty much the same. He likes to smother guys. He's not really good at finishing fights on paper, and the record it's a bit 50-50, I guess. But if he can't really finish guys like Christopher Sharp, then he's got no chance of finishing Fezzik. So one of the three horsemen's probably going to reign supreme, but we did see Matthew Dean get rocked. That's the closest I've ever seen him to losing to in any of my saves. So we'll see how Fezzik does. Is Amaro's co-main eventing. He's back in action. Of course, he fought in the Tokyo show against Kuroki, knocked him out. Hopefully he can keep that momentum going since returning against Milkovic. Levetsky's unbeaten. He's 2-0. He's actually doing pretty decent. He's the 5th best lightweight in the world right now because he's 5-0 overall, 2-0 with us, still unbeaten. But he's got his hardest fight yet in 27-year-old Norberto, whose only loss came to Carlos Ramos, who's only just recently suffered his first loss. Then we got Tim Boyer fighting Gunnar Nelson. Now, Gunnar Nelson's only lost once in his whole career, and it was actually to Tim Boyer, but in Sigma. He won the first ever heavyweight title in Sigma, and then on his first defense, he lost to Tim Boyer. So he's lost once in Sigma. He's only lost once here, which was to Fezzik. I mean, it's not. You can't really judge him for losing to two guys like that. So he's looking for revenge against Boyer today. Then we got Fast-Smith and Bobic, or Popic, sorry, not Bobic. Both got a bit of a scuffed record, but both very good ground fighters. We're hoping Gigi Reed can pick up another win, stay unbeaten against Old Man Kuroki, who's now 35. He's got a bit of a scuffed record too. Casper Comtois, who's 2-1, lost his last fight to Terns. Hopefully he bounces back. Gurkha, who's still unbeaten, he's 6-0. He's one of the best featherweights in the world. He's slowly creeping up our weight classes. He's national caliber wrestler, pretty good with a very weak chin. And he's up against Wanya, who we hope he beats. So hopefully Mantas loses to Joseph Minkowski, who also lost the last fight. Hopefully he bounces back. And then we got Christopher Sharp, who's 3-1. He lost his last fight to Akihida, which propelled Aki to now fight Fezzik for the belt today. And he's up against Lopez, who's 2-1, who lost his last fight to Tim Boyer, also way further up the card. Damn, the big bad Fezzik makes the second defence. Great rated fight as well. We have two. That was two pretty good main event title fights. Although Aki actually started to use his wrestling to his advantage and it was working. And he was smothering Fezzik up against the cage, which isn't really exciting, but it would have won him points on the judges, and then the referee separated them on the first round to check his cut, which kind of wasted it for him, because then right after that, Fezzik was back on the offense. But good win for Fezzik. Aki gets his first loss of his career, which was pretty much always going to happen at some point, so why not lose to someone like Fezzik? 69 on commercial, so obviously definitely not as high, just short of high level national. We take nice attendance again though, with a great main event. I actually totally forgot, because we had to cut two fights from the last title fight. We had two prelims. I believe it was JJ Reed and Christopher Sharp who had opponents on the Matthew Dean card, but obviously when they dropped out, we moved them, so they still got to fight. But Basto, who is of course national, he's a national jiu-jitsu fighter, won his debut, he wins again. But Marisuva, he lost. We gave him literally the easiest fight possible in the human history of fights. Piquet we brought in literally to be a stepping stone for everyone. Well, maybe not Piquet. I'm getting him mixed up actually. But he's okay, never mind. Okay, Piquet, I see you. But Sharp wins. Mantos beats Minkowski, which wasn't great. Gurkha also lost to Wanya, which we didn't want. Gasper also lost to Sato, which we didn't want. But then Gigi Reed, he finally got the job done. Fast-Smith won. Tim Boyer beats Gunnar Nelson again, but for the first time in our promotion. Levetsky stays unbeaten as well. He's 3-0. He's beaten the likes of Camo and Gage, who are both pretty decent opponents, but this was his first fight against someone with sort of substantial ground game in Norberto, and he got the job done, so that's a huge win for him. Amaro keeps the streak going. against Milkovic, and of course Fezzik wins. 0.7% pop as well. We will give, you know what, yeah, we'll give Saban fight to the main event, since it was also a title fight. He pulled through clutch in one, yeah. Now we'll give Levesky, since he was not the favourite at all to beat Norberto, and he got the job done. Nice, over 500k. I didn't actually think we would make that much, so that's perfect. Fezzik the champ takes away 17k. Nice, okay, that's another good chunk of money we need. We're probably just going to fall short of 8 million, but we're definitely, I believe, on course to hit our goal of low-level national. Next card, I believe we have Go Yamamoto, who'll be the first ever person to challenge for a title twice, and he's up against Lars Boland, who of course Lars beat Yamamoto on his journey to fight for the belt against Gorshin. So Yamamoto has a chance to get payback on Lars. It's going to be an interesting one. And we also have a nuclear fight that is mid-level international, which is our first ever mid-international draw, I believe. And it's, I believe, Bingwen Park against Deming Se, who of course is the highest paid athlete in the game. Two Japanese guys, or Japan against China, sorry. So that'll be a very big bang to the end of the year.